8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is a news edited by Romesh Piris and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. All banks will remain open on special government holiday tomorrow. State Minister Amanugama says the distribution of the 5,000 rupees allowance will be met 90% to eligible persons by tomorrow. 2021 GCE Advanced Level Examination to be held from October 4th to 30th of October. India and Sri Lanka police chiefs dialogue aims to enhance existing cooperation between the police forces. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 tally surpassed 95,000. News overseas, the US Secretary of Defense makes first Israel visit by the Biden administration. In sports, Indian Premier League, Sunrisers elect to bat. Sunrisers elect to field. And those are the headlines. The State Minister Dilum Amanugama says that they are hopeful of completing 90% of the distribution of the 5,000 rupee allowance to eligible persons by tomorrow. Speaking to media in Kandy, State Minister Amanugama admitted that the public may experience minor delays but claimed that preparations have been made to hand over the allowance through Samurdhi and Grama Niladhari offices. He said the public should not unnecessarily visit state offices since officials will visit the respective areas with the allowance. The State Minister noted that the government is aiming to provide some relief to the public through the grant since most sectors have been affected by the COVID-19 crisis. The Education Minister, Professor G.L. Piris, says GCE Advanced Level Examination that was scheduled to be held in August 2021 will be held from October 4th to 30th this year. The Minister announced that the dates addressing a media briefing held at the Ministry of Education, Batharamulla, earlier this week. Speaking further, the Minister said the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination will be held on Sunday, October 3rd, and GCE Advanced Level Examination for the year 2021 is scheduled to begin in the last week of January 2022. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
The Indian Eye Commission in Colombo says the first delegation-level virtual police chiefs dialogue between the police chiefs of India and Sri Lanka was held earlier this week. The Inspector General of Police, C.D. Vikramatne, led the Sri Lankan delegation, and the Indian delegation was led by the Director Intelligence Bureau. While appreciating each other's ongoing action against the drug traffickers and other organized criminals exploiting the narrow sea route between the two countries, the two sides emphasized the need for sharing of real-time intelligence and feedback. Both sides also agreed to work jointly against the terrorist entities, including the global terrorist groups and their members, wherever they are present and active. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country has surpassed the 95,000 mark, following the detection of 170 patients today. Accordingly, Sri Lanka has confirmed 95,018 coronavirus cases since January last year. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said 2,791 persons are currently receiving treatment for coronavirus at several facilities across the country. Earlier today, 175 persons who recovered from COVID-19 were discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in the country to 91,631. Tourism Minister Prasanna Rantunga says the Ratmalani Airport would be promoted as a leisure flying centre under the government's program to develop the airport as a domestic aviation hub. Accordingly, Ratmalani Airport will be promoted for leisure flying, wedding photography, drama and cinematography. The minister further said that new local air routes to tourist attractions and new runways suitable for aircraft would be identified. It is also expected to ease the barriers to flying to such identified locations. Minister Ranatunga further said special relief would be offered for companies looking to operate flights from Ratmalani Airport. Moreover, the minister added that the parking charges for flights have been temporarily suspended for 1 year, as well as the airport service tax levied on passengers has also been suspended for 1 year. Commander of Sri Lanka Army General Shavendra Silva has urged the members of public to strictly adhere to the health guidelines during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year celebrations. He specifically appealed to them to wear face masks properly to minimize the spread of COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hasela Gunawardena, says lockdowns or travel restrictions will not be imposed during this festive season. However, he noted the members of the public are expected to follow the relevant health guidelines properly amidst the Avurudu celebrations. And that's local news.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be open in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka says all state and private banks will remain open tomorrow despite being a government-declared special holiday. The government has taken steps to disperse the 5,000 rupees allowance to low-income earning families affected by COVID-19 through Samurdhi banks both tomorrow and day after. Tomorrow was declared a special government holiday in lieu of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. And that was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Washlight, the Commissioner General of Motor Traffic, Sumit Alahakon, says the Narayanpeta and Verahera offices of the Department of Motor Traffic will remain open as usual tomorrow, Monday, the 12th of April. The Commissioner General has announced that the relevant offices would be kept open for the clients who had booked an appointment over the telephone number 0112 677 877, even though the government has declared Monday as a public holiday. And that was Washlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Avurudu season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Avurudu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The U.S. Secretary of Defense makes first Israel visit by the Biden administration. Western Australia braces as Category 2 storm cyclone Seroja nears. Ex-British Prime Minister Sir John Major says shared grief over the death of the Duke of Edinburgh is an ideal opportunity to end royal rifts. And those are the headlines. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin arrived in Israel today on the first visit by the senior representative of the Biden administration. Austin was due to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz during the two-day visit. Washington has sought to reassure Israel on regional security issues while restarting talks. Israel has long been critical of the deal that it sees as putting a temporary cap on Iranian nuclear capabilities, and that would pave the way to Tehran producing bombs in the long run. Emergency services in Western Australia have opened shelters ahead of tropical cyclone Seroja's expected landfall in the coming hours. Residents in the area 500 kilometers north of Perth have been urged to evacuate as the Category 2 cyclone accelerates towards the shore. Ex-British Prime Minister Sir John Major says shared grief over the death of Duke of Edinburgh is an ideal opportunity to mend any rifts within the royal family. Sir John, who was guardian to Princes William and Harry following their mother's death, said he hoped it would end any friction between the pair. And that was World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Avurudu season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Avurudu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Navy constructed a Lankagama Nilwala Bridge was ceremonially declared open recently, keeping in line with the national policy framework of vistas of prosperity and splendor by the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Initiatives were made to go ahead with this development project, fulfilling a long-felt need of Lankagama and Nilwala residents as they face hardships when crossing the Jin River through the risky and difficult means. The construction work of the bridge, which is 84 meters long and 1.8 meters wide, commenced by the Navy on 28 July 2020 and was able to complete its construction in short period of time. And that was development news. And in sports, the third night match in the Indian Premier League between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders got underway in Chennai short while ago. Sunrisers won the toss and elected to field first. Knight Riders were 109 for the loss of 1 wicket after 12 overs. Nitish Rana is on 65 and Rahul Tripathi is on 29. Earlier, Shubman Gill was bowled by Rashid Khan for 15 runs. And that was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
NDB Investment Bank Limited, in collaboration with National Development Bank PLC, conducted a knowledge-sharing session recently in providing a holistic view on alternative sources of funding. The forum was launched as a convenient platform to provide insights and solutions to the major challenges faced by entrepreneurs and other corporate businesses, whilst addressing and highlighting the importance of the key areas in the investment banking, such as forms of debt financing, private equity, mergers, and initial public offerings. And that was business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The passage of Colombo Port City Commission new law governing a reclaimed extension to the capital's central business district will pave the way to sell 20 plots of land, bringing about $5 billion of investment to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's Colombo Port City, a joint venture with the state and China Harbour Engineering Corporation, has 100 hectares of land ready for construction. In the next 5 years, a strategic plan of 20 plots adjacent to Colombo's central business district have been identified as pilot projects for activities for which Port City will have natural advantages.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says the National Assad's Early Warning Centre has issued a warning of severe lightning to several provinces, which is valid until 10:30 p.m. today. According to the warning, thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning are likely to occur at several places in the central, Sabarkama and western provinces and in Galle and Mathura, Anuradhapura, Vavuniya and Mannar districts. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in these areas.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. All banks will remain open on special government holiday tomorrow. State Minister Ahmed Gomez says the distribution of the 5,000 rupees allowance will be met 90% to eligible persons by tomorrow. 2021 GC Advanced Level Examination to be held from October 4th to 30th. India and Sri Lanka Police Chiefs Dialogue aims to enhance existing cooperation between the police forces. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 tally surpassed 95,000. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.